Hey guys, so in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to make pretty much easy yet effective and kinda cheap thumbnail generator or maker. For this we need to have a simple actor, scene capture component and a mesh. We can manipulate with mesh transform, so it's scale, rotation and position. Scene capture, we need to actually capture the render target that's going to be used as our image. And what else? And one post process, because by default render target has some issues with the alpha channel once it's captured. So this post process gonna help us to get rid of the background for our images. To start with, we need to create the simple actor. Here on the right you may see. And that's how the setup looks. We have camera, it's our default camera, to preview how the mesh gonna be captured, and also if we place it too close, we can see where the clip begins, so we can understand whether our model are gonna be intersected with the camera mesh. Next we need to add the scene capture component inside it, so once we change the position of our camera, it's gonna be also changed for our scene capture component. And on the upper level, it's the static mesh. As for variables, you may see that I have all of them visible, so I can change them via the world outliner. So the mesh, it's static mesh actor. As a preview here, I have my static mesh of donut. Dimensions, int point, so it's vector 2. And the reason I have this one, I use this thumbnail generator for my inventory. So I have the tile size of which occupies one slot, and that means if I have, for instance, the tile size of 64 and the let's say I have maybe bottle with the dimensions of 1 by 2, so it's going to be calculated to be 64 by 128. We also have rotation, we have the offset, it's for our location, scale for our model, so we can just make it a little bit bigger or smaller, and name here comes with the directory where we're gonna store, or actually it's gonna be the name of our texture that we capture, and we're also gonna make procedural paths to where to store our captured image. You can also see that I have those bounds for the slide and value range, just to be like not to go with the value of something crazy, minus 400 something. Just keep everything clear and logical. So I have bounds for everything, for the offset, for the scale, for the dimensions, the tile. So it's up to you. As for the camera and scene capture component, we need to make some adjustments. So for our camera, the field of view, and for our scene capture, field of view should be 25. I found this value to be appropriate to have the better visual representation of a model that we're gonna capture, without any crazy angles, without this unnecessary perspective. And as for camera, I guess that's all that I have here. Yep. As for the scene capture component, here you may see under the rendering features, I have the post process that I told you before. We need to extract the category, press the plus button, add something here. It's going to be our post process. and so. We also need to check on some of our checkboxes. So some of them should be turned on, some of them should be turned off. So by default I use show only list, so I only gonna capture the required entity. The source capture gonna be final color with the linear working color space. This one helps us to work with the post processes, and we also need to have the always persist rendering state, because without this post processes simply won't be captured. As for general show flags, it depends on you whether you go with the skeletal or static mesh. I choose both of them, just in case I want to make the thumbnail of my skeletal mesh, not static mesh. This feature also works with the default level lighting, so it means that if I place this thumbnail baker on the level and change the directional light position or add some VFX which emit lights and so, all those influences gonna be captured. So default lighting, bloom, and under the hidden show flags, lighting and post process. With this being said, let's make some functions, and then we're gonna end up making up our post process. So I have on the construction script some predefined things. So I override the static mesh of my prop mesh static mesh component with the one that I have here from the world outliner. Next, I use set relative location and rotation. So here I manipulate with the transform of my preview mesh that I'm gonna capture. And I also have this sort of, let's say, refactoring. So I really like when the X goes for the left and right position from the offset. Z gonna be our up and down, and Y gonna be our, is that gonna be our left and I messed up a little bit. Let me quickly check how I have it here. So the X gonna be our left, right. Yep. Y gonna be our up and down, and that gonna be our depths. Yep, something like this. So that's why I made this one. And also scale. I choose to change the relative transform, not the world. I don't know, I just find it more logical. So event graph is cleared, and I have the function called bake thumbnail. If you select, you may see that it's called in editor, so that's why I have this beautiful button up here, and it's gonna be called only once I press it, not once I change the transform and the construction script gonna be triggered. So here we have the following. I also have some temporal variables, the path, the name, and capture RT, just to keep everything clear and tidy. So we check whether the name of our asset that we're gonna store is not empty. So if it's so, we cannot proceed. Then we store the path and the name with the following format. So we append the project content directory to the following path. At my project, it's gonna generate, or it's actually gonna have this one art and generate the thumbnail folder. And once I add the name, it's gonna have the prefix and the extension of the file. It's gonna be PNG. A sequence just to keep everything clear, not to have the mess, and yeah, just to keep it clear. So we create the render target with the following calculation. We multiply dimensions, it's our int point, on the tile size. Tile is basically float, or integer, I mean the single value. The random target should be RGBA 16F, because with this one we'll have more precise and clear and just better looking image. And we set this render target as the texture target for our scene capture component. Next, we should clear show only list from our previous captures once we change the model, and so add our new model as show only component to our scene capture component. Once this function gonna be triggered, we're gonna capture and export our render target with the path and the name. So once it's going to be exported, by default you will have the pop-up message from your editor which says if you want to import the source file. And I'm going to show you this. So with this done, let's go back to our post process and create it. So simple as this is the post process. Make sure that the blend location is set to be after tone mapping, and we need to select output alpha. And we're gonna make a little simple trick. So we need to extract the scene depth and check whether the distance between, let's say, our model and the background is higher than the value of 10,000 units. Actually, it depends on the size of the mesh you're gonna capture. So if you want to, like to capture some sort of the car or maybe bridge, so something enormous, you probably should stick to some high value. So if A higher than B, we're gonna with 0, so it's gonna be our dark area, and 1 it's our white area, and that's all. We also don't forget to add this post process to the scene capture right up here. And let's see how it goes. I'm gonna quickly change the position of my camera up here, so you may see the whole thing up here also. I'm gonna quickly reload my level. Let me show that I already have one thumbnail, this donut. You may see the size, something that I rearranged after I captured it. So we're gonna also capture the donut and change some settings. So here we have thumbnail baker. Let's say we're gonna make it a little bit extended on our y-axis. So it's gonna be 1/2. The tile size is gonna be higher. We're gonna change the rotation to -15, something like this. Also a little bit offset on the left. Maybe change this rotation like this. And let's say scale 0.8. So it's gonna be a little bit just smaller. Oh, actually, let's go with the name of donut 0.2 and press bake thumbnail. Here you may see that I have this pop-up. I press import and it's gonna be added here. So by default you may see that I have this sort of background but we need to change few settings up here. So from HDR compressed, we restore it to our default DXT1 and select sRGB. So that's our donut with 0 alpha, and that's how it looks. You may also see that I've captured my toon shader with some sort of outline. I also have the scene fog. So let me show that if I change settings, the lighting, it's also gonna be applied to our thumbnail. So where is my weather manager? Here I'm gonna change the position of sun like this, and I also gonna select my post process up here and turn off custom fog. So if I select right now my thumbnail, you may see that it looks like this. So once I recapture it, you'll see that I won't have this sort of glow, and the actual lighting, the direction of light is changed. So look at those bands up here and what I have after. I press bake, it's gonna be overridden. Let's re-input, and that's how it looks. So if I want to go without my toon shader, that's how the donut looks like without it. So I recapture everything one more time. Well, actually, let's change it to be 2 by 2, and also change the maybe rotation up here to be like 60. Change the height of it, so it's gonna be -1. Or actually, let's go maybe without. Yeah, let's stick to the donut. Why not? Bake, donut, re-inputs. Voila. So the toon shader, without toon shader, without alpha. There it is. So I'm gonna share this project via my Patreon under the lowest tier. It's gonna be a tier 1. You may also recreate it on your own. It's not a rocket science at all. And with this being said, thank you for your support. And in case you want to support me, you may find my Patreon. The link is under this video, and you can go and pay me some money. As always, please subscribe to my channel, leave your feedback, press like button, blah blah blah. And guys, see you soon.